Hi guys, this is Scott from Code 4 Performance. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I thought I'd give you a brief overview of a project bike I'm getting ready to start building. It's winter here in Utah, and what a great time to work on your bike in the garage. This is a 2022 KTM 350 EXC-F. I picked this bike up a couple of months ago. I've ridden it a little bit, just still working on breaking it in. But my intentions with this bike are, when I bought it, is to build it up for some light adventure riding, and particularly for a super long adventure ride I'm going to do later this summer, which I'll tell you more about later on in another video. But that's the intentions of why I got this bike. Currently, I own a 300 XCW, a 2021 300 XCW, and a Beta 300. So I'm a two-stroke guy, love them through and through. They have their place, but for the longer ride, I think the four-stroke is going to be the way to go. And I contemplated back and forth about getting a 500 versus a 350. I'm not a really big guy, and I just think the 350 is just going to be about perfect, especially after several days in the seat. I think the 350 is not going to beat you up as much. I don't know. Could have went wrong on that, but I don't think so. Stay tuned for more on that. What I wanted to do today was just kind of give you an overview of some of the parts I'm going to put on the bike, and ask that you leave me some comments below if you want a video on a particular part, how I install it, or how it's to be installed. Not to say that my way is the right way or the wrong way, but I'd be happy to create more videos on particular things you would like to see installed on the bike. But let's get through some of the parts that I plan on running on this bike. First, as you can see, I've taken the stock seat off already. I've been riding this with the seat concept seat. This is the standard height, but it's the wider seat. I've ran seat concepts on all my other bikes. I really like how they feel, how they hold up. I think Seat Concepts is a great company. They build a good seat. Plus, if I damage this seat or tear it up, I can put the stock one back on, particularly for resale down the road. On the back of the bike, let's just start with the lighting first. I'm going to get rid of this mess back here. This thing wobbles around like no other on the dirt roads. So what I'm going to do is the Enduro plate, which is the magnetic flip-away plate system. In the event of a crash or a tip over, the magnets release, allowing the plate to flop over and not damage your license plate. Then I'm going to use the Takomoto Tidy Tail kit, which gets rid of the turn signals and combines the brake and the turn all in one. I'll show you that in just a second. As far as on the rear, gonna put a brake guard on, a brake disc guard on there, from Bulletproof Designs, and skid plate. I'm gonna use an AXP skid plate on this bike. I'll show you that in just a second. 3.9 gallon of Chirby's gas tank will go on there, and I'm gonna use the upgraded aluminum fuel fittings, where the plastic ones are prone to break on the bottom of the tank where they come out. I'm going to run a Golan fuel filter on this along with the quick disconnect. I'll show you that in just a second. Muffler, I'm going to run a FMF Q4 on this along with a P3 carbon fiber header pipe guard. Mojave, Giant Loop Mojave pannier bags for the back. Awesome product. These are perfect for the ride I intend to do this year. They should hold up well, combined with their fuel bags, which strap to the top. I'll do a video on those later on when I get to that point. I've got their mount to go on the top of the fender. Helps to mount and secure the bags a little bit better. Moscow Moto, their Pico tank bag, and their cell phone pocket. Put your cell phone on top of there. Giant Loop handlebar bag to go on the top. Radiator guards. I am going to put the Bulletproof Design radiator guards on there. I use them on all my other bikes. Excellent product. They mount super clean, easy to install. I'm going to run the KTM Hard Parts Coolant Overflow Reservoir, which goes up in the down tube of the frame. What you have to do is remove the charcoal canister for the emissions on these bike, and the coolant overflow tank replaces where that charcoal canister goes. So as you know, these bikes are quite choked up from KTM to meet our emission standards. So I am planning a full desmog on this bike with a Get ECU. Suspension, since I'm standing here looking at the shock, I do definitely plan on either doing a revalve for my riding style and my weight, or I may run the MX Tech Lucky fork inserts. I've currently got those in my XCW, and man, those are awesome. They really help this fork, the mediocre fork at best from stock from KTM. They're terrible. Wraparound handguards. I'm gonna put Psycho wraparound handguards on here, and Baja Designs XL80 Pro headlight with the moto-minded mount, which allows you to adjust the headlight. Other moto-minded products, I'm gonna put their I think it's called a super mount, which relocates, or I shouldn't say relocate, but allows you to remount and clean up a lot of the wiring that's behind the headlight mask. If you have one of these off, it's quite a rat's nest of wires in there. I'm also going to run their dash, which goes in the front. You can relocate the key switch in there. It'll allow me to also have a location for my heated hand grip switch, which will go in there. Steering stabilizer, I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to run the narrower Sick Ass Racing combination switch on the left side. It is quite a bit narrower, frees up some real estate on the bars. I mentioned wraparound handguards. The fuel tap I was mentioning, so this is a stock plastic one. Very flimsy. If you were to tip over, hit a rock or a branch, it definitely could break that off, and you're done for the day. The CPC quick disconnect, and then the Golan filter will go in there. Dirt Tricks countershaft washer to replace the stock one. Let's see, what do we got on the back? Gearing for the bike. I don't know what I'm going to do for gearing yet. Definitely going to ride it stock for a while, and we'll see how I like it. But I may change that as we get more miles on the bike. Stay tuned for more on that. In the air box, I'll pass that up. In the air box, I'm either going to run the Euro boot, which if doesn't have the reeds in it at all from KTM, or I definitely will remove the reeds as part of the desmog. I'll do a video on that as I get installing that. Let's move over to the bench and show you some of these parts. Headlight with the moto-minded XL80 Pro, and their super mount kit, which basically, like I was telling you, cleans up the wiring behind the headlight mask. Their stout mount, which is for Trail Tech Voyager Pro, and I'm also going to run the Trail Tech updated Pro aluminum dock. The stout mount for the Voyager, wraparound handguards, steering stabilizer. Scott's sub mount using the BRP rubber sub mount adapter. Skid plate. I run AXP skid plates on all my bikes. I wouldn't run anything else. Super thick. I think they're 8mm thick. Excellent product. They hold up really well. Bulletproof designs. I've got their rear disc brake guard, caliper guard, their axle block set, radiator guards. I mentioned those bulletproof designs. Here's some of the Sick Ass Racing products I'm going to put on there. Their switches for the left and the right, the narrow ones. Oh yeah, turn signals for the front. I'll be getting rid of these and running the Taco Moto fork turn signals, which snap around the fork right here. Super cool. Their Tidy Tail and the Enduro plate, I mentioned those. Here's the KTM hard parts coolant overflow kit. Talk about that. And the really cool part, the Get ECU, with traction control and Wi-Fi comm, and a handlebar mounted map switch. So that should be super cool. Anyway, guys, that's the bike. Some of the products I'm going to put on there. Leave me a comment down below if there's a particular video you would like me to make on the items I install, whether it be the Trail Tech or the ECU, whatever it is. You leave me a comment and I'll be glad to see if I can make a video on that. Looking forward to getting this project going. Really quick shout out to Slavens Racing. That's where I got the majority of these parts. I've shopped with Jeff and Alec and his guys for years, and I wouldn't honestly go anywhere else unless I absolutely have to. Those guys take super good care of their customers. They have most of their products in stock. They've stayed ahead of the game with COVID. As you've known, it's been hard to get a lot of these parts. You know, I had to wait for some of these items. I knew this was the bike I was getting, so I started to build my wish list, if you will, months ago, and had some of these parts before I even got the bike in. So, but Slavens has stayed on top of that. Excellent customer service. Takomoto is where I got, like I say, the sick-ass racing switches, the Enduro plate, the tie detail. I also got the Get from those guys. So shout out to Mike at Takomoto. Looking forward to seeing how this thing rips. I've heard nothing but good things about his tuning. Moscow Moto, I got the Pico bag and navigation bag for the cell phone right from those guys direct. But other than that, yeah, stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.